Action learning project will help you connect our entire content with your actual business life situation. As a matter of fact, for every action learning project, I'll come back to you. We need a mentor from your company. Every participant must have one mentor, and I'll be personally guiding myself each action learning project. Look at the details I mentioned to you that I'll talk to you in the next slide about the content. The first module on the changing business context and implication, you've got 3 sessions of 2 hours. So module 1 is only 6 hours. So 1 week, if there are 3 classes, we'll finish the first module in 1 week. We are going to talk about the important broad business issues which leaders of tomorrow must be aware of. One is global macroeconomic issues. You can see clearly, I don't need to repeat that. There is also political and regulatory context of business. Implications are pretty high. You have seen what's happening in the United States, what's happening in the UK, the Brexit and the Donald Trump issue. What does it mean to companies in India? What does it mean? And of course, WTO implications. And you have seen recently what happened, that USA is trying to withdraw from the Paris Convention, the environmental law issues, and all these things have an implication for business. We'll talk about it. We also talk about the challenges posed by demands of greater corporate concerns towards sustainability of environment and social responsibility and implications for business. As a matter of fact, and CII has a senior leadership will be the faculty. They'll be coming and talking with many of the CII members, and the senior members will be talking on some of these important topics. They are always interacting with corporate world and also interacting with what you call the government policymakers, and they'll be coming and sharing their views. This is a very important module. As a matter of fact, we'll be assessing your skills acquired at the end of module 1 also, and there's an action learning project. But the focus area is global macroeconomic issues, political and regulatory context of business, and of course, the political and the challenges posed by demands of what you call sustainability and social responsibility. If you have a question, I can answer. Where the question answer, you can have question. Please have your question ready. I'll be rather. Yes, we will share the PPT with you, ladies and gentlemen. Savita, I'll share with you. But in the meantime, ask me some difficult question, complex question, so that I'll be also, really enthused and motivated to answer you, to make this presentation. I mean, we are used to, in a classroom like IIM, we are used to putting question to us, and I expect you to do the same thing, because in that case, we are challenged all the time. Now, module number 2, the core managerial skills. See how we are developing. We develop the understanding of the overall business and implications. At that stage, the leadership issues are now all about knowing or sensitizing the macroeconomic and global political issues. In the module number 2, I develop your managerial skills. Now, I'm sure they have done in a 5 years or 8 years experience, they have done many managerial skills program, and many of them are MBAs maybe. But what I'm going to do is that we picked up a few areas where you thought you require a lot of inputs, again, fresh inputs, and the 3 areas we have picked up: general management skills, 2 sessions, we have got 4 hours only, so only 2 sessions, not much. Business analytics, we are spending time on analytics, because analytics is going to be the most important thing in the coming years. Like P&G, I was told they have a policy now, they will not recruit anybody who does not know analytics. If somebody said, sir, I'm a chartered accountant, I have not done analytics, okay, the P&G said within 2 months, you have to get the skills on analytics. In this program, we believe that leaders of tomorrow, they have to demand results for everything, demands quantitative evaluation. Now, you cannot demand quantitative evaluation unless you yourself know what is analytics. And the mentor I'll be talking about to you, madam, I'll be talking to you, or gentlemen, I'll be talking to you in a minute soon when I come to ALP. The mentor and I together will be coordinating. No ALP, remember there are 4 action learning projects to customize the content to your companies and each individual context, not just company. For example, there is a manager marketing has joined the program, so we'll be contextualizing at 2 levels, at a company level and the individual level. So the mentor is going to be a person who is actually the senior person, senior member, maybe a general manager or executive director or even a board member on that side, and I'll be there, of course, as a senior faculty. 2 of us together will understand what is the business challenge, how do we develop these leadership skills, solving a particular problem which your company is facing at this point of time. So business analytics is a very important subject. We have got 8 sessions earmarked for that. Actually, this is one subject where you are putting maximum emphasis, because that's the future skill that you must have. And the third is how do you analyze performance of a company and the management information reporting and control system. We have got 2 hours of two sessions of 4 hours total. So that's module 2. Let me see if there is something else. Now come to module 3. Now you talk about core business function. Have you seen how it's going? First you're talking about the environment, macroeconomic, political, regulatory environment. Then you're talking about managerial skills. And now we are coming to the core business function. I must tell you at this point of time, we do not know the profile of people joining the program. There may be people from manufacturing, from IT, from finance, from HR. So we need these modules to ensure that everybody has come at one page. We get everybody at the same page. So everybody understands the global macroeconomic issues and political issues. Everybody understands WTO. Everybody understands analytics. Everybody understands general management skill. So by the end of second module, everybody, irrespective of their functions, they know the basics foundation. The third module has the same purpose. If you look at the third module, there are 5 or 6, you can see the bullet points. Each of them has the same purpose. If somebody is coming from marketing, for example, finance, he or she might find the finance 4 sessions a bit stuff that you may be knowing. But what about marketing? What about supply chain? What about operations? In other words, at the end of this module, you are supposed to be an expert. If not an expert, at least you are a person who have actually gone through all the functions and you have the legitimacy to lead people irrespective of their specialization. You know, as you grow in the organization, you always work in a particular single function. That's not bad. But as you grow up the organization, your leadership has to be such that you can manage and discuss issues with all the people in your team, including people in other functions. Many a time you lead not just your own people, you also lead people who are not reporting to you. As a matter of fact, I teach a case, and a lovely case I teach, and I'm very proud to teach that. I feel very good when I teach that case at IIM Calcutta. And the case says, how to deliver performance when no one reports to you. How to deliver performance when no one reports to you. That's an excellent case of collaborative leadership, and where we say that if you don't have a leadership quality, you can't get anything done. People have a misconception about leadership at two levels. One misconception is people at a senior level are leaders. People at junior level do not need leadership skills. That's not correct. And the second is that you have to have people under you to be a leader. That's another mistake. You can be a leader without anyone directly reporting to you. There's a complete new concept today, and this program will be talking about the whole thing. So coming back to this module number 3, where we try to make all the participants exposed to all the functional areas, we are talking about finance. You can see clearly 4 sessions. Then you are talking about marketing. There are again 4 sessions. The core business function, another one, operations management, again 4 sessions. Then you have got HRM. We have got 2 sessions, and otherwise project management and supply chain. Again, there are 2 sessions each. Essentially, what we are trying to do is the following. At the end of the module 3, all the participants, we are expecting about 30, 40 people joining the program. All the people have now been exposed to the same input, the macroeconomic and the global and other issues. Then there are the basic foundations of management like general management skill, the analytics and other things, performance evaluation, and finally, the various functional areas. In the meantime, we have still asked the question. I'll get back to you. There is a question on marketing. Is there? Just a minute, please. Marketing include digital marketing. Yes. We'll be doing that. Definitely digital marketing. But anyhow, you know, because there are only 4 sessions, you know, that much. Later on, we can have a special session on digital marketing. But for the time being, it's not a marketing program. It's a leadership program. And I'm exposing you to finance, marketing, operations, HRM, supply chain, and project management only for the purpose of the fact that you may have to interact with people who are reporting to you, or you are collaborating with people who are not in your team. Unless you talk the language of business, unless you talk the language of functions, nobody is going to respect you. The purpose of this module 3 is absolutely clear. Like the module, the purpose is to make you first conversant with the business challenges in all functional areas. Then you have to lead. And that brings us to the next what you call next module. Meanwhile, please keep me asking questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'll expect you to ask me lots of questions, and that's important. Module 4 that's the main module. The strategy and leadership, that's also my personal module because that's where I specialized last 43 years ago. Look at the topic. The lovely topics, I think lovely topics that a leader of tomorrow must be knowing it. Without these inputs, you can't be a great leader. And mind it, we are contributing to your pipeline of leaders. If you want your general managers and managing directors from your own people who have joined your company at the first level, you got to have a pipeline of leaders at managerial level, at the assistant manager level, at DGM level, at general manager level. And these are the inputs we have picked up. We believe that if you have these inputs, probably the progression up the career path, the job, getting things done will be much easier. Let's have a look at that. Strategy and business model. The four sessions. These were the real focus of the leaders of tomorrow at this point of time. Before you see it, ladies and gentlemen, I will please note this point, what I'm making today. Leaders of tomorrow can't just lead. That term includes two other things. Leaders of tomorrow must know leadership skills, obviously, but they also must have two other things. One is strategic skills, and the third is entrepreneurial orientation. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've not seen a successful strategist who is not a leader, who is not a good leader and a good entrepreneur. I've not seen a successful leader who is not a great strategist and a great entrepreneur. And I've not seen a successful entrepreneur who is not a great strategist and a great leader. And our emphasis, the CII and ourselves, the emphasis is very clear. How do I get our leaders to be strong in three areas simultaneously? Leadership, strategy, and entrepreneurial orientation. Obviously, the time is less, only 38 hours left now, in meaning 62 hours are gone. This is where our action learning project will come. This is where our interpersonal learning will come. This is where so many things will come which will be happening outside your class hours. It's 100 hours of faculty conducted session. As I mentioned to you, this is actually a 400-hour session. So you are getting a real value for money in this program. 400 hours of session, of which 100 hours is faculty, because I have seen from my 43 years of experience, faculty contributes only 30% of your learning. I'll show you how to learn, and remaining 70% come from a variety of sources, at least 4 other sources I'll show you, based on the research that I did in executive education. Look at quickly running through the program. Will there be a strategic HRM under HRM? Yes, we'll be putting here. It will be here in some of the things, the situational leadership partly I'm doing. The strategic HRM item will be item 1 item. I'll take a note down under the 2 HRM I'm talking. Yes, that's a very important question. I'm running a program myself on how to build, how to align HR function to strategy is such an important topic, but I can talk for 16 hours only on that subject at all, alone. But you know, we have a limitation in this program. This program is not a functional program. This is a program for the future leaders who will be also knowing strategy and entrepreneurship. So your question is very valid, but I'll be very, very happy to include that, and I'll come back to you on that points on strategic HRM. Okay, the topics are strategy and business models. You have to understand what is the strategy about. I mentioned to you, you can't be a successful leader without being a great strategist. You know, leaders of tomorrow have to first take risks. The leaders of tomorrow have to show the direction. Taking risks is entrepreneurial. Taking direction, showing direction is strategy, and of course, get things done. You have to really collaborate with, that's a very important point, that you must collaborate continuously about simultaneously with many people, and many of them may not be reporting to you. So after that, you talk about doing business in globalized world. We talk about innovation and creativity, very important job of a future leader. Entrepreneurial thinking action, I told you. A strategy implementation, leadership skills, managing and leading. There's a great difference. At the same time, there are two sides of the same coin. We established that. Situational leadership in the front line, including stakeholder management, very important. And managing oneself itself is a big job to do. That's module 4. That's module 4, and that's the content of the program. A few other design features left out, and let's see what's that. The action learning project is one such area we are very proud of. Each participant or a group of participants in the same company. If you wish, if you ask me personally, I like one by one, one-to-one. That is, each participant should do one project. However, if there's a company who's doing 5 people together, they might say, Professor Das, let's have one project for 5 people. I'll be uncomfortable, but well, if you want it, I can do it. But actually, frankly speaking, if you want real value for money, you should have every participant doing separate ALP. So action learning project will require a mentor. The mentor will be the person I told you, a senior level managers, could be a director level person, who will be talking to me, and between 2 of us will finalize a project. The project should be such that will help the participant to learn leadership skill in his own role, and you as a person of a larger leadership team, how do you go about doing it? There are lots of things involved. We'll talk about that later. This ALP will be guided by the mentors, and from the nominating company, we have talked about that. Oh, the evaluation also will be shared. That is, mentor will be carrying a 50% weight and I'll be carrying the 50% myself. Now, let's talk about the program delivery. The program delivery will be using a small innovation that I personally done. We call it Smart Learning and Transformation Solution. Every word is important. This is where we are different from learning and development. This initiative of CII and the Strategy Academy is different because we are using SLTS, Smart Learning and Transformation Solution. You know, the focus in learning and development is mostly in what we call that skill building, where without transformation, learning will never be applied unless we change the habits of people, unless we change the attitudes of people, unless we change the habits of people, attitudes of people, unless we change the aspiration to do something terrific, hard, better, or good things, your skills will never be applied. So we have named it as Learning and Transformation Solution, and Learning and Transformation Solution. And let's talk about what the solution is. What's the question? The question, just 1 minute, there's a question coming in. Let me see what the question about. How's the experience? Have a look at it, then you'll see it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, talks about 5-way learning. The 5-way learning is very important. The one learning you can see on the left-hand side, that 30%, first of all, participant-centered learning is 5 ways. The green circle, your on-the-job learning, which you are doing anyway, but there are 5 ways a particular people learn. That's the 400 hours we talked about. They're the 4 times. Now, 30% of the learning will come from faculty-conducted session. That's why we give you case studies and we give you concept discussion, practice discussion, everything. But before the faculty-conducted session, there'll be pre-reading that will guided, I call it guided self-study. Then there'll be post-class group work. Group work means they'll be working in virtual team. That's an important requirement in 21st century. Even in the classes, faculty-conducted classes, in many of the classes, we are going to have syndicate room discussion. Suppose there are 40 people, we break up into, say, 10 groups, each having 4 members, and this entire screen will show you that people are working in different groups. Only one group can be seen by the faculty at a time, and nobody else can see what's going on in different groups. Such a lovely arrangement we have got. We are doing it all the time. So that's the post-class group work. In the class itself, faculty is teaching, but he's one of the actors. The other actor is the participant themselves who are asking questions continuously. We expect to ask 4 questions in every 2 hours. You understand what does it mean? The evaluation criteria is such. I'll show you the multiple evaluation criteria. The answer is simple. Every participant must ask 4 good questions in a 2-hour session. So technically speaking, there are 200 questions I expect from each participant in a 50 sessions, including total 100 hours. So that's the importance of interactivity, and this technology, the technology which you are using now, is not the technology you are going to use. Our technology will have a video and audio platform. You will see the faculty clearly, you will see the PPT clearly, you will see the chat box clearly, and you will see the attendance clearly. And that's a different platform. Today we are not using that. So the focus is, one is on 5-way learning, self-study, then the faculty-conducted classes, the post-class group work, action learning project, and inter-participant learning and networking. Whatever happens there in a typical campus will be happening here. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point of time, I must tell you, this smart learning and transformation solution, in a simple way to put it, it retains all the advantages of campus-based solution. It retains advantages of all the advantages of a campus-based solution that goes on in a typical business school like IIM Ahmedabad and Calcutta. There are 2 institutes I know of, and IIM Bangalore. I maintain that standard of service. All these services that you get, and not in executive education, I'm talking of proper MBA program. All the things that you get advantage in a campus-based education, I retained here. But I removed all the weaknesses of that system. Being a person from IIM Ahmedabad and now teaching at IIM Calcutta, I know what are the weaknesses, and those things have been removed. And that's why I'm saying SLTS is a completely new innovation. And this, I'm grateful to CII that they agreed to carry it for this particular program. And the 5-way learning is one of the features of SLTS. The typically it happens like this. Look at a screen, please, and ask your experience, ask your question, please. Can you see SLTS technology enabled? SLTS technology enabled. I mentioned to you the platform that you are using today is not the platform where classes are going to be held. In a typical classroom, just imagine for a moment, you can see the screen. There'll be 4 windows. Window number 1 is the faculty speaking. You can see live, 100% live video. In the second window, you can see the PPT. In the third small window, you can see who are the people attending. The most important is the chat box. Your questions will be asked. And today, I don't see too many. They are in the classroom every day, if there are 40 people, I expect for 2-hour session, 160 question, and they are incentivized. The asking question, it measures the engagement level, will carry a 15% weight, and these questions will not include, thank you very much, I understand, okay, these are not questions. They are called interaction. The interactions can be 20 per students in a 2-hour session. But good questions are captured for evaluation purposes. I call it ongoing evaluation. The quality of question cannot improve unless participants are listening to the lecture properly. So box number 1, window number 1, the video of the faculty. Window number 2, the PPT. Number 3, attendance. And window number 4, chat box. And the whole chat box will be full of questions. Today the questions are not coming, but the whole chat box will be full of questions. Because faculty also gets a feedback how the class is going on. So look at this thing, participant from anywhere. Have you seen that? So you can be from Nagaland to Nigeria to New York and London, but may not be anybody from Calcutta. That's called from anywhere. And this program, the people are joining with their pre-program habits, attitudes, and motive. They came because we are not trained yet. They came. The content and faculty is coming in from this side. Yes, you can see all the questions put up, and also you get the recording of the everything proceedings. All the 100 hours recording will be available. So that question, for example, this question, what you asked just now, everybody's question, including thank you very much, all those things can be seen. You can play back later. So on the input side, so participants came with their existing habits, attitudes, and motive, mind it. There is no transformation yet. Now the program started, 100 hours, plus extra work that you have to do. Content, the customized and scripted. We'll look at your profile of the people. We'll look at it, how the things are done. We'll decide what is the classroom, what is outside the classroom. We'll pick up the cases according to your profile of people. For example, if I see there are 10 companies came from, say, for example, software, or 2 companies came from, say, manufacturing, I'll be accordingly picking up the cases. Customized and scripted. For action learning programs, projects are scripted. Faculty is coming from this, anywhere. As a matter of fact, we are expecting 8 senior industry professionals to come and speak. They'll be in the office. They will not travel because the whole academy, the Strategy Academy's mission is to run a great. And the technology thing, you don't have to understand that a 2-way communication service provider, there's a broadband service provider, there's an assessment service provider, and of course, other service provider. What happens finally is you acquire new skill, but your habits are changing, your attitudes are changing, your motives are changing. And that's very, very important for transforming your entire thing. So that's why it's called smart learning and transformation solution. We are very proud of our assessment system. There are 7-element, multi-element assessment system. You can see it. I don't have to read out. I want to draw your attention to the first and second item, and also 5 and 6. Have a look at the first and second. Attendance. You can say, how do you know, Professor Das, where the people are if you're doing from home? You can do it from home. You can do it while you are driving the car. I myself have taken a class while driving the car. I know it's illegal, but just to prove a point, I drive and take the class. Now, we take attendance 4 times in 2 hours. Suppose Mr. X, he has kept quiet, no question asked, item number 2, for the last 10 minutes. Somebody of our session manager will say, Mr. X, are you there? If he's not responding in 5-second time, he's considered absent. Somebody will turn back and say, I know they'll do it every time. Professor Das, can't you go to toilet? My answer is no. All sessions are scheduled. Unless you have a biological problem, why do you go to toilet within 2 hours? We need a medical certificate for that. So that's 10%. Every day 4 attendance, 50 session, 200 time attendance. Only when 200 time you said yes, you get 10% marks. Other one is that Yes, the technology, you can get it from, you can access it through your laptop, your mobile, and tab. You can. The level of participation, I told you some time ago that you have to ask 4 questions in 2 hours, 200 questions. And thank you very much. Okay, I see all these are not questions. They are called interaction. The questions are substantive question, and the decision is ours at our end, whether they are question or just thank you type. Surprise quiz is some element that you have to do. This measures your ability that how ready you are at any point of time. And if you say, come back and say that, sir, I had a customer call or I was absent, well, surprise quiz is surprise quiz. I can't do anything. You got 0. In other words, your daily attendance is connected with 40% evaluation. You see, attendance, class participation, surprise quiz, 40% is connected with your coming to the class. There are people that have a strategy. They make sure they get 40 out of 40. And they have done their job. Group work is totally outside the classroom. We'll have a virtual team working, but virtual team doesn't mean that one will be working and 5 others will be sleeping. Sorry. The virtual team means is the following. They'll work individually and they'll be uploading their presentation before coming to the class, and the work will be done in the classroom. In the classroom, remember I told you, in the classroom syndicate room, in the classroom the job will be group learning, whereas before coming to the class, they'll upload it. How can leaders maintain themselves to stay motivated? If they are leaders, if they have leader quality, the feedback they'll get motivated. The inputs they'll get motivated. They'll be motivated by the fact that doing something which they have not done before. Doing something novel, doing something difficult, getting a feedback all the time motivates anyone. It's not that everybody has to be motivated with a piece of chocolate. I don't think we are going to get people who wants to be motivated all the time. The people also get an intrinsic motivation that somebody is there to tell them, hey, you are doing very well or not doing very well. Somebody who is not a part of the company. That's the way. If you are a true leader, as a matter of fact, madam, sir and madam who is asking the question, her name is not clear to me. I can tell you one thing. Beyond this quantitative assessment, I repeat the word, beyond this quantitative assessment, if anyone wants a feedback from me on the following areas, I'm going to give a feedback. We call it behavioral feedback. For example, I can give a feedback on self-governance. Leaders of tomorrow, if they're not governing themselves, they'll be in big trouble. I can give a feedback on your ability to engage yourself in any learning and new skills. I can give a feedback. This is not part of your skill assessment. I can give you a feedback how prepared you are to face surprises. I can give a feedback how good you are to manage change. I can give a feedback on your ability to conform to process discipline. You don't get it. This is beyond this. Other thing is that item 5 and 6. Actual learning project I talked to you, that 15% weight. And the most important is the last item number 6, formal presentation over video and audio platform. I mentioned to you, we are not going to use this platform, so we like to see how smartly you sit. In item number 5, I look at the content. Content means what is the quality of the work done on the project. In item number 6, you'll be surprised. As a leader, you should be also speaking smartly. You should be also sitting smartly. You should not be a person who reads from the PPT. We should look everything. If you're not sitting properly, if your hair is not tied up, we actually say that this is no presentation. Please get lost and come back next day. The presentation, item number 6, though it's 10%, takes a look at your ability to speak in a public forum. Your English speaking, your quality of PPT, your style of presentation, can you speak without looking at a PPT? And that's a very important issue. The way your entire get up, your posture is part of 6. In other words, leaders of tomorrow, it's not that they're skilled, they're also a role model. And some leaders attract attention. We want our students to be attracting attention of others. And finally, of course, we go back to the end of the examination, the relative grading system, pre-assessment test, and all these things. There's another question coming in, is there an ideal batch size? Yeah. As a matter of fact, you know, we do it, technically speaking, my batch can take 100 people. In other words, because there can be situations that people are scattered all over the country, all over the world. And I've done up to 90 people at any time, in a rural and urban India together, India and overseas together, including United States and Japan simultaneously. You can imagine that the problem of actually logistics. 6 o'clock Indian time or 8 o'clock Indian time. In Japan, it's 11:30 in the night, and United States, 9 o'clock in the morning. But one thing beauty is that it's 100% live and two-way interactive, and you can see the faculty sitting there. So the batch size, ideal, I will not say I've done 100, I've done 40, I've done 20. Somebody is a company who wants to do a program for 15 people. We can do it. Even in one person, we can do it. That's not a problem. Okay? There'll be an entrance examination. We call it pre-assessment test. And the objective is not to fail anyone. I mean, I'm heavily influenced by common admission test of IIM, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, Bangalore. But this is, I'm doing it to get a feedback on what kind of people are joining, their quantitative skill, their mental abilities, their English comprehension, English grammar, all those things we test. And I would give the data to the company and the participants if they use it, but I need to know the background of the people who are coming in as our participant. There's another question I can see clearly. Who will decide the mentor for the ALP? I think L&D will be collaborating with me. I'll be talking to him, what kind of person this person is, what kind of challenges he's facing. And you might say that, Professor Dar, there are 2 or 3 people who can do, and probably we can work out very easy, not difficult at all. I've been doing that with many companies like that all the time. But they have to take a responsibility. They have to share, give their time, and they have to evaluate the paper. Now, technically speaking, I want somebody who is not his boss. I want somebody who knows the subject. So imagine somebody is a marketing manager. I want to run GM marketing. I might work as a director marketing, that kind of thing. Okay. It's a very interesting, at one point I must tell you, the faculty, the 100-hour session, you know the 50 session? The CII is doing a tremendous job. CII is doing a tremendous job in terms of giving that industry or a practice issue the one things we should be covering. As a matter of fact, the feedback came from CII itself in terms of what kind of leadership input that you need at the lower level of management, like frontline and the mid level. CII role will be another one. We have found there are several sessions where a standard faculty from a business school cannot tackle. CII has a contact with a large number of senior people who are interacting with the government and industry always, and they'll be coming and taking sessions. So that's an important issue. Now look at the key value propositions of the YLDP. The content is going to be contemporary content, industry, and case-based. We are going to follow a case method of teaching, the way that we do it at Ahmedabad and Calcutta, okay? IIM. And CII members will be also taking sessions. That's what I've said. CII will be coming and taking sessions. Other thing is a very special learning process. I told you 5-way learning process. I mentioned to you. And the convenience of learning. Look at this convenience. Can be attended from anywhere, from home, office, outstation, including out of India. So nobody can say, I've gone to China. Sir, I can't attend the session. I said, why? From China you can attend. Whatever you are seeing sitting in Bombay or Bangalore, you can see the same thing in China. User-friendly delivery platform, thereby helping you to real-time learning outside working hours. So you are going to get an advantage of working during the daytime, in the nighttime, peacefully, in your private classroom at home, you can do it. Faculty conducted session delivered over 100% live and two-way interactive communication platform, and you can use your laptop. Somebody asked me a question like this, headphone and a broadband connection or data card. And the next question is, okay, and will there be a sensitization to diversity as part of course, the diversity and inclusion is going to be a part of the item. As you go to the details of the session wise, you'll see diversity and inclusion is a subject. I need it seriously. Coming back to the other things, the recording of each session will be available. So up to 100, say all 100 sessions till the program is over will be available. In case somebody misses any session, you can get it back. You can see that other box over there that participants will interact with faculty members with a fixed time interaction, chat facility, virtual team, in-class exercises, mailing and presentation. Of course, we talked about it. Infrastructure, I told you, I don't need to talk about again. You can use a smartphone, headphone, tabs, everything you can use, and no problem. No problem. Standard, and the data card is a standard. You have seen a standard data card, that will do. Certification jointly by CII and the Strategy Academy Center for Advanced Studies is an autonomous certificate. Oh, yes, can a participant be from education sector? You are most welcome. No problem. As a matter of fact, it'll be a lovely thing for this to happen if there is somebody from educational sector. Now come to some logistics. Our program schedules have been given. We are starting on 17 July, all being well. There can be some shift, we'll let you know. But the module 1 will be a short one, as you know, there are only 3 sessions, 17 to 25 July, 24th July is the module 2, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, between 7:30 and 9:30 p.m. Module 3 on 21st August to 25th September. You can see the session modules are getting longer and longer because the topics are very different, and that's it. Then these are detailed timeline. You will get the copy of the PPT, not to worry about. But essentially, there's the entrance process. I told you 3rd to 10th July. There's a practice exam. You know, we always give a chance to people who are going to join the program. There'll be several practice exams. So you cannot say that, sir, I didn't understand it. So when you appear at CAT and IIM, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, you don't have those practice available. The coaching classes do it. But here I make sure that you appear 100 times practice test, I have no problem. But once you say, I'm ready, you have to take the test called formal perspective and aptitude test. That's a 2-hour test, please. 92 questions, 2 hours under 6 broad categories. One of them is English language, English grammar, quantitative skills, mental ability, all those things. 10 to 14 July, we have demo sessions for your understanding the technology platform. Today, the platform that you are using is not the platform going to be, you have to be actively involved. Remember, those questions, you have to ask questions and everything, the faculty video, all these things requires some demonstration. You can do it whenever you want. We give a timeline of almost 10 hours each day on that 4 days. 17 July, we start the module 1, 24 July, module 2. We talked about, even we have said 20th January, certificates will be issued. So we know everything from now itself. This is a practice we follow in a good business school like Harvard, MIT, or IIM, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, where batch knows exactly what is going to happen and no one has a right to change anything. We are following the same principle at Strategy Academy and for this program. These are the detailed things. Our entrance process is only a feedback to us. We want to get an input on each participant under 6 set. It is not for rejection. It is not like that. It's a perspective and aptitude test. And this is only for getting a feedback to us. If you want, we can share with participants. If you want, we can share with the company. But unless you give it in writing that you want the feedback, we will keep it with us. Because I, as a professor and director of the program, I want to know who are my students, where they stand in terms of the life skill. We call it life skill. So this is only, and nobody can prepare for this exam. The entrance process, we call it process. Entrance process is only for me personally to know what kind of people who are joining this program so that I can have a private conversation outside classroom. This is not for the company. Unless you give it in writing, I'll not share the data because you understand why I'm saying it. Just a minute, look at the exams data given. I told you we have got everything laid down. There is exam, first exam. If you miss it, there's a second chance. There's a action learning project submission. If you miss it, there's a second chance. There's a presentation on a particular date. You miss it, a second chance. But second chance when it comes for exam, ALP submission and presentation over video, reverse audio video, will attract a deduction of 20% marks because that's important. You got an unfair advantage over people who are appearing on the date scheduled. A few points, program benefits, and quickly running through program benefits. And yes, the ALP will be tailor-made for each person. I told you, even a company has 5 people. If you ask me, my preference will be everybody will do individual. End of the day, every individual manages a function, report to a different people. Why can't you have separate ALP? Action learning project is a real learning stuff, and we use it for a variety of purposes. So I'll prefer individual, customized, not only company specific, but okay. Let's talk quickly about program benefits. Have a look at it. Benefits of the participants get the following: they acquire business, strategic and leadership skill without, and also working full time. That means implying that working and learning together. Why? Morning to evening, they're attending office, then they go home and attend classes between 7:30 and 9:30 p.m. I must tell you at this point of time, The either or culture is dead. That either I'll work or learn, that's the current L&D practice that we avoid doing it totally. It is working and learning. The new culture is learning and not either or. Next is detailed grade sheet will tell you the feedback. Detail means detailed. It's not overall grade sheet, but also 7 elements per module will tell them where you have, how you have done. Opportunity to network with other participants across India, even outside India. We might get some people from Bangladesh and other places. So you never know, you have a chance to learn from each other. Performance certificate will be issued by CII, Center for Neotia, Suresh Neotia Center for Excellence, and of course, the Strategy Academy. The benefits for the companies which are nominating, quickly, basically company gets a chance to observe each nominated official in terms of our belief and attitudes, ability and attitude, and they get an independent assessment made. You know, I know everybody is by the company's performance management system. You're also getting a feedback on independently how the person is doing. Reevaluate existing officials already included in the talent pipeline, and also find fresh talent. Examine if YLDP provides an additional approach for spotting talent for officials working in the front line, and all these benefits will accrue to nominating company at a very affordable investment for officials. A question came, and the question is, what skill does it take to be a good leader? I mentioned to you, 3 things must come together in one person. One, of course, is a leadership skill, goes without saying, but this is where many people miss the point. You can't be a great leader without a strategic skills, which is nothing but showing a direction, a new direction to travel to the future. And other is, of course, risk-taking orientation. The risk-taking orientation will help you spot opportunities. You can't spot an opportunity without a risk-taking orientation. But only risk-taking orientation will not help you. You also need strategic skills to find out the best way to commercialize that opportunity. And then to get things done, to make things happen, you've got to collaborate with a lot of people, stakeholders, not just internal, not just your people, but with many people outside the company too. You need leadership skills. So in other words, you need a combined leadership skill understanding, strategic skills, and of course, what you call entrepreneurial orientation. Somebody may turn back and say, do you need to be a general management skill? Goes without saying. Goes without saying, your ability to get things done will require leadership skills, which include people skill, situational leadership. You call it anything, negotiation and conflict resolution, time management, everything. Goes without saying. Remember, there's a module only on general management skill, only for that. We'll just revisit. We won't spend much time. We'll spend more time on strategy and leadership and entrepreneurship. Obviously, that's the focus area. But we have not left. Other things that there should be some kind of a charisma around the leader. And this charisma comes only in your body language. You don't have to be looking like a big film star to have a charisma. You don't have to speak like a fantastic speaker. All you need to do is to have in your body language, there's something in you which makes you different from others. In other words, you have a subject knowledge, which is all cross-functional areas. You understand strategy, leadership, entrepreneurship. You understand the general management skill and your ability to bring all these skills together at the point of action. Once you do that, you will become a successful leader. Anything else? The last item coming into you, the unique program differentiators, and for your just point of view, you can clearly see all put together what you get out of this program. Of course, there's a CII advantage. They're drawing it from 8,000 members, 8,000 plus members, eminent industry speakers will all be coming from the live case studies, resulting in holistic learning. That's terrific. Of course, it's designed in direction by yours truly. I've been teaching at IIM Calcutta since 1994, have 43 years of experience, including as a senior industry person, a professor of IIM Calcutta, a researcher, strategy consulting, executive education, of course, and technology-enabled learning, and a social entrepreneur myself. It's curated by the L&D core group. We formed a core group before announcing the program. The core group has actually gone through the content, and now what you are presenting today to you is something that has been approved by them. And this core group included senior industry professionals. The program is going to be content neutral. I mean, you can do any specific content, you can bring it. We can do outside the classroom, two-way interactive, and location-independent real-time delivery. It's a comprehensive 360-degree assessment system. You not only get assessed by your skill, but also you get behavioral inputs. I told you, like your self-governance skills. I told you about your ability to engage yourself in learning. I mentioned to you about your conformance to process discipline and everything else, you get it. You can customize by company. I don't think not only company, but also participant by participant. Just for your information, the core group included beyond me, Mr. Ranjan Banerjee, from Senior Vice President from Aditya Birla Nuvo, Manjusha Bhatnagar, Director HR from Bamalori, Ms. Ishita Bardhan, L&D Lead from ITC, Ms. Udita Bhattacharya from Mahindra Group HR Leadership, Ms. Das Sajnani from Shapurji Palanji, and Rahul Dubey from Tata Steel. So you understand that when you when you brought out the program, I brought not only my own 43 years experience at Calcutta, Ahmedabad, and other places, but also got the people like this who gave us input. And frankly speaking, my original design have been changed significantly by the contribution made by these 4 or 5 senior professionals. So that's it. I think other executive is one other difference is that ours is the executive edition program and not a standard training or development program, L&D program. So that's it. Anything else? Some question might come that some of the institute are offering digital executive education. I just want to tell you, because some question might be coming to your mind, that digital executive education from Calcutta, my own institute, which I started myself in 2003, and XLRI and IIM Kozhikode and IIM Indore. These are the 4 institutes doing in a large scale. And I must tell you that our content is going to be more contemporary industry application thanks to CII involvement, and of course we are going to use case methods. We only use the Harvard Business School cases, and when it comes to Indian company, we use experience sharing method. The 5-way learning process is something that I'm calling with full confidence, because I myself do it at IIM Calcutta. A 5-way learning process that I presented to you is something very unique. The focus on skill acquisition and transformation is something very unique. In the most IIMs or XRI, they do on skill acquisition, but the way we run the process, for us, the focus is on the process. Class is only 30%. The remaining 70% are other things that you do. We help people to transform their habits, attitudes, and motives to achieve superior goals. And of course, you have a very unique delivery medium, fixed time anywhere plus recordings available, and that's something that they don't have. Ladies and gentlemen, that's roughly a multi-element assessment process and continuous feedback. That's something, and a lower effective cost per participant. You see what's going to happen now. 4 non-value adding costs will disappear. 4 non-value adding costs. Because you are having the class at home, and you are going to save use of office time, number 1. You're going to save traveling cost to a central training learning center. You're going to avoid the cost of hiring a conference hall. You're going to avoid use of paper. You're going to avoid use of food. There's so many savings are there, and all put together, the effective cost per participant will be far less than the effective cost under current L&D method. If you have any question, you can have now question answers. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm through with my presentation. Thank you very much for your comments.